Hi students, this is Dr. Pandian from Kasinada College of Arts and Science. Here we are going to see about the nature of a company. What is a company? Company is a voluntary association of persons who contribute money or money is worth to a common stock and employ that in some trade or business and share the profit or loss maybe which is coming from that business. The common stock which is contributed is denoted in terms of money and it is the capital of the company, and the persons who contribute the capital, they are called as the members, and the amount contributed by each member is their share. The next important aspect in company law is features of a company. Features, we are having 8 features of a company. Number 1 is separate legal entity. What is separate legal entity? Separate legal entity is company will be registered by the persons who are forming the company. Even though the members they join together and form a company, after registration company becomes a person separate from its members. It is called a separate legal entity. It is a separate artificial person. The second feature is limited liability. What is limited liability? The liability of the members. Liability is nothing but the responsibility. The liability of the members of a company is limited up to the value of the shares they have agreed to pay. For example, if you agree to pay 10 rupees for a share and you are having 10 shares, so 10 into 10 it is 100. You want to pay only 100 and not more than that. So your liability is limited up to the 100 rupees. It is called as limited liability. The third feature is perpetual succession. Perpetual succession is the continuous existence of the company. The company, the many persons will be coming into the company. The many members will be coming. Many members will be going by buying the shares. Some members will sell the shares and go out. Some members knew they will be coming in. So that is called as members may come, members may go, but the company will not go on forever. The company will be there only. It have a common existence, a continuous existence. Next feature is transferability of shares. Transferability means the members can transfer their shares freely from one person to another. If you want to buy shares of any company, you can buy, and if you want to sell the shares of any company, you can sell. There is no restriction. The shares are freely transferable. They are considered as movable properties. Next one is the capacity to sue. Next feature is capacity to sue. Capacity to sue means members can sue the company in their own name, and the company can sue its members. So company after registration it becomes an artificial person, so it can be sue and be sued. It can sue and be sued. It is called as capacity to sue. Next one is the common seal. Next feature is common seal. Common seal is the company becomes an artificial person. So it doesn't have any hand or leg or ear. It is an artificial person. But it want to sign. For that signature, a common seal was created. It is the official signature of the company. Next one is separate property. Separate property, the members they join together, form a company. They will buy the assets, but the assets will be registered in the name of the company. After registration, the company become a separate person, so it is having a separate property. The property of the company is not the property of the members. It is a property of the company only. So it is called a separate property. Last feature is not a citizen. The company is not a citizen. It is an artificial person. So everyone will ask whether a company is a citizen, whether it can vote, No, it cannot vote. Company is not a citizen. This is regarding features of a company. The next aspect is corporate veil. Corporate veil is nothing but the feature of a company, that separate legal entity. That feature is also called as corporate veil or veil of incorporation. What is separate legal entity? Separate legal entity means the company when registered become a person, separate artificial person from its members, even though the members form the company by contributing some amount, but the company when registered becomes a separate legal entity. This feature is also called as veil of incorporation or corporate veil. Corporate veil, you can understand corporate veil in a simple way, that is, there is a gap or a wall or a screen between the company and its members. That is called as corporate veil, that the wall or a screen or a gap between the members and the company after registration. That is called as veil of incorporation or corporate veil. But the gap or wall or the screen between the company and the members will not be usually lifted in any occasion. It will be lifted only under certain exceptional situations. So the corporate veil, generally it will not be lifted. It will be lifted under certain exceptional situations. There are certain exceptions to corporate veil. That is, the corporate veil, the gap, the wall, the screen between the company and the members will be lifted under these exceptions or exceptional situations. Number one is protection of revenue. Protection of revenue is the company to protect its revenue, or the government to protect its revenue. The court will interfere and lift the corporate veil. Second one is prevention of fraud. If any fraud is going on, any fraudulent activities were going on in the company, then the corporate veil will be lifted. Then third one is to determine the character of the company. The character of the company is nothing but if any non-resident or any citizens of an enemy country, they become member of the company, then the character of the company will become enemy company. Then in that situation, the character, to determine the character, the corporate veil will be lifted. Next, fourth one is company avoiding legal obligations. Legal obligation is nothing but the things the company must do legally. If the company doesn't do those legal obligations properly, the corporate veil will be lifted. Next one is number of members falling below statutory minimum. If the number of members of the company, that is, in case of private, the minimum is 2 and the public, the minimum is 7. If the company is running its operations or doing its business without the minimum number of members, then the corporate veil will be lifted by the court or the government or the higher authorities in case of necessity. Next one is the misdescription of company's name. If the name of the company is used for any wrongful purpose, then the corporate veil will be lifted. Next, fraudulent trading. If the company indulges in any fraudulent activities in the business, the corporate veil will be lifted. If there is any misstatement in the prospectus, then the persons who have invested, the investors will comply to the court or the government, and the corporate veil will be lifted. And finally, the corporate veil will be lifted in case of the application money, that if it is not refunded to the applicants without allotment, that is, if the minimum subscription it is not received by the company at the time of issuing shares, then the application money must be refunded to the applicants. If the application money is not refunded within 130 days, then the corporate veil will be lifted. So generally the corporate veil will not be lifted. It is lifted under these exceptional circumstances. The next important aspect in nature of company is differences between company and partnership. Company and partnership. You know what is a partnership? That it is a firm. Only minimum we can have 2 partners and maximum we can have 20 partners. Whereas in case of company, we can have more number of members. That is minimum 2 in private and minimum 7 in public, and maximum is 200 in case of private and unlimited in case of public. This is a general introduction about company and partnership. So in case of company form of organization, we can mobilize more funds because the more number of people you can accommodate in a company, whereas we can accommodate only 20 in case of a partnership. So the main difference will be in the case of membership. So now we see the differences between company and partnership. The first one is the act. Which act regulates company? It is Companies Act 1956. That is Indian Companies Act 1956. Partnership, it is Indian Partnership Act 1932. Next, second one is registration. Company must be compulsorily registered. Without registration, you cannot form a company. Whereas partnership, the registration is optional. It is not compulsory in case of partnership. Third one is status. Status is the company is a separate legal entity. It is a separate artificial person when it is registered. Whereas partnership is not a separate legal entity. Only the partners and the firm are one and the same. Next, fourth one is the liability. The liability of the members is limited in case of company and unlimited in case of partnership. Next one is the management. The company is managed by the directors of the company. Partnership, it is managed by the partners of the company. Next one is transfer of shares. Shares are freely transferable in case of company, and in case of partnership, the shares it is not freely transferable. If you want to transfer in case of partnership, you want to get the consent from the other partners, and the partnership must be dissolved and then again it must be reconstituted. So dissolution or transfer, it is not easy in case of partnership. Next one is decision making. Decision making, it is in case of company, we are having more than 200, we are having more than number of members is more, so we can't take decisions quickly. So the decision making is delayed decision in case of company, and partnership, it is quick decision making. Next one is in case of companies, the audit. Audit, it is compulsory in case of a company and it is optional in case of a partnership. Next one is perpetual succession. Company have continuous existence, it enjoys perpetual succession. In case of partnership, it is not there, no perpetual succession. If one partner dies, the partnership firm must be reconstituted, whereas the death or the insolvency or the lunacy of a member will not affect the company's existence. So company enjoys perpetual succession, and partnership, it doesn't enjoy perpetual succession. Next one is membership. The minimum members in case of company, private company it is 2 and public company it is 7. Whereas in case of partnership, the minimum is 2. Then next one is maximum membership. Private company it is 200 and public company it is unlimited. In case of partnership, the maximum is 10 in case of banking and 20 in case of others. This is regarding differences between company and partnership. The last aspect in the nature of company is the merits and demerits of a company. It can be also called as merits and demerits of incorporation. So both the answers you can say merits and demerits of a company and merits and demerits of incorporation. The same answer you can write in case of exams. So merits of a company or merits of incorporation. Incorporation is nothing but the registration. It is also called as incorporation. So first we will see the merits of a company. First one is limited liability. How it becomes a merit? Because the liability is the responsibility. The shareholders or the members, they want to pay only the limited amount they have agreed to pay. Example, you are agreed to pay 100 rupees. You want to pay only 100. More than that, it is not necessary. So it is a first merit for a company. In case of partnership, it is unlimited. So limited liability is the first merit of a company. Second one, perpetual succession. The company have continuous existence. The members may come, members may go, but the company goes on forever. The life of the company will not be affected by the life of the members. The death, the insolvency, the lunacy of any member will not affect the life of the company. So it is the second merit of a company. Third one is separate artificial person or a separate legal entity. The company, when registered, it becomes a separate artificial person. It is a third merit. Next one is the shares. If you are interested, you can have the shares in the company. You can hold the shares in the company. Otherwise, you can transfer the shares to anyone. So the shares are freely transferable. So it is the fourth one in the case of merits. Last one is easy mobilization of funds. The funds, the number of members in case of a private is maximum is 200 and public it is unlimited. So many persons, if they are accommodated in a company, each one will contribute more amount and the total amount will become a capital. So the funds will be easily mobilized. Whereas in case of partnership, only 20 persons can be accommodated in a partnership firm. So the fund mobilization will be somewhat tough. So next, in case of demerits of a company, the first one is too many legal formalities. Too many legal formalities is nothing but the members, they have formed the company, but the company must be definitely registered. Without registration, you cannot carry on the business. So there will be lot of legal formalities. That is the first one. Second one is expensive. Formation and every process, it is very expensive in case of a company. Next one is government interference. If the company is a big form of organization, so automatically many funds were mobilized and automatically the government will interfere in each and every aspect. That is government interference. Last one is delayed decisions. The company members are too much, we are having more than delayed decisions. It is the last demerit in case of a company. That is, in case of a company, we are having more than unlimited membership in case of public company and 200 is the maximum in case of private company. So taking decision after consultation with 200, it is not an easy task because the shareholders are the owners of the company. So each and every matter we must discuss with the shareholders. So the decision making will take time. So it is the last demerit. These are the very important aspects in case of the first chapter. First chapter, we are having two important questions in case of 10 marks. That is the features of the company, and the second one is lifting of corporate veil. And third aspect, the difference between company and partnership. These three you study well. It is very, very important in case of the first chapter.